Muy buen día, mis queridos fortuneros y fortuneras. ¿Cómo va? Aquí estamos con un gameplay más del Discworld Noir. Y vamos a ver qué nuevas aventuras le acontecen a Newton ahora que es hombre lobo. Pero bueno, antes de seguir con el juego, les recuerdo.
Denle like a este video, comenten, suscríbanse a mi canal, compártanlo, activen la campanita de notificaciones. Si se sienten millonarios, pueden hacerme llegar alguna ayudita mediante los links de Mercado Pago y cafecitos que hay en la descripción del video. Y si quieren contar con contenido exclusivo, pueden hacerse miembros de mi canal.
Una vez dadas las indicaciones de costumbre, empecemos o continuemos. Bien. Lo que me da curiosidad si alguien le dice algo al ver que esté muerto.
It is you, sir. I'm just as thrilled. Who would say I'd like to see this time? I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home? I will go and check.
Es que quiero ver la cara de todos al ver que está vivo. Bien. Pero no volvió más a...
The Count's health was getting worse. He wasn't making much sense.
Is that you? I knew you'd come for me sooner or later. Is it time? Is it time already? It's been such a long time, hasn't it? We've had fun together, haven't we? Soon enough.
Count?
Soon enough, my dear. Soon enough.
Count? It's Luton.
¡Ah!
He cannot hear you.
Why not?
It's almost his time.
I've seen some scary things in my time. I've seen men driven mad by money or women. I've seen wars where neither side has known what they were fighting over. I've seen Nobby getting out of the shower. There was no picnic. I didn't really discover what terror was until I found myself talking to a 7-foot-high skeleton with a scythe. You're deaf!
Am I? You know, I wondered why I was carrying the scythe around.
Am I?
Are you what? A selfish, bitter man who has yet to squander his one last chance at redemption.
Am I dead?
No. It's not your time.
I thought you might have missed me the other day when I was stabbed and you've only just got around to me.
I'm famously punctual.
So why are you here?
I've come out for the Count, so to speak.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I was hoping to ask him a few questions.
You seem remarkably calm for one who has just seen the defeater of empires, the swallower of oceans, the thief of years, the ultimate reality, the harvester of mankind, and the assassin against whom no lock will hold. That's me, in case you have trouble with long sentences.
It's been that kind of week. How long has he got?
That depends on you.
On me? I thought our time was allocated by the fates.
It is true that fate is the ultimate master of life and death. But even fate takes a back seat to the laws of causality.
I don't understand.
Really? Who said you were supposed to?
You might give me a clue.
Let's just say that the actions of one person may change the way the whole story is told.
I don't understand.
Don't worry. It'll all become clear to you at the end.
Bien. Hablemos con la muerte.
How come you're here?
I came on my horse.
What is it? A skeletal horse whose hooves spark with flames with each step?
No. Just my horse. I call him Binky.
And he's not a skeleton?
He happens to be very well fed and looked after, thank you very much.
I still don't understand why you're here. I mean, you're death. Shouldn't you be everywhere?
I am everywhere.
But you're here.
Yes. As well. Don't try to work it out. Even I don't fully understand it. It involves really complicated numbers.
You turn up like this for everyone.
Generally, I'm only expected to make an actual appearance on special occasions.
And this is a special occasion?
Not yet. I've arrived ahead of time. But there's going to be a lot of business in Ankh-Morpork soon. So it doesn't hurt for me to get here a little early.
You wouldn't care to tell me more about this, I suppose.
The immediate future is not a matter on which I propose to enlighten you. No.
How come I can see you? Is it something to do with me being a werewolf?
In a sense. It has much more to do with certain other matters.
Such as?
Ordinarily, I am only perceived by those who are about to die.
So you are invisible? That must be useful.
I'm not invisible, as such. People just can't see me. They won't allow themselves to do it. Until it's time, of course. Wizards can see me, and cats. Odd, really, but there you go.
But I can see you.
Indeed. People in a state of heightened awareness sometimes stop seeing what they expect to see and start seeing what is really there.
Like with Gaspode?
Frankly, I think your seeing me has more to do with your quest for the golden sword.
You know about that?
I've been around. I hear things.
Why should the sword be a factor?
Well, it's more to do with narrative causality, as I said.
It's not really a quest. I mean, I'm just investigating a few murders.
Believe me, I know. I was there.
You mentioned narrative causality before.
Did I? I must be becoming careless.
Why? Aren't you allowed to discuss it?
It's not exactly against the rules. But it might ruin it if I told you.
Ruin what?
The story.
Bien, hablemos de cosas.
Can you think of any reason that Mundy might have been hung upside down before he was killed?
Of course.
You were there?
Well, yes. I have to be. But this is very irregular.
Of course. You know about all these murders, don't you? I mean, you're basically an accessory after the fact. Or possibly before the fact.
Young man, I am the fact.
Well, tell me everything you know.
Are you sure? It would take millions of years.
I meant about this case. We could stop anyone else from being killed.
No. Absolutely not. You can't expect me to be a witness in a murder inquiry. I'm going to take the fifth.
The fifth what?
No one ever says what fifth. They just take it. And I'll have the 6th, 7th, and 15th through 23rd, just to be on the safe side.
So you won't tell me anything?
Oh, lots of things. I like to talk to a man who likes to talk.
But you won't tell me anything about the murders?
I will not. Supposing that caught on, you think I want to spend every day in a witness box?
Even though Death said he wouldn't tell me anything, I had a suspicion that I might be able to learn something if I could just trip him up. I'd have to be careful, though. The last thing I wanted was to get Death upset with me. He's not a guy you want as your enemy.
Bueno, a ver.
There must be something you can tell me about Reagan's murder.
What would be the point of your job if I did all your work for you?
Ta-ta.
I'll make you a deal. You help me, and I'll help you.
Oh yes, that'd do my reputation good, wouldn't it? You sidling up to people and saying, "Hey, sister, you're deader than a bucket of fish." No thank you.
Okay. I was only trying to be friendly.
I don't have many friends. Don't have the knack, I suppose.
You and me both, pal.
Still, we both have jobs that allow us to get out and meet people.
Bueno, a ver.
Know anything about the counterweight killings?
I already told you that I cannot discuss the details of my work with you.
Ta-ta.
You can at least tell me why the murderer killed Reagan, Mundy, and Malachite. Surely that wouldn't be a problem.
Look, if I tell you about him, where does it stop? No. I will tell you nothing.
I think it's too late for that.
Bugger. I don't suppose you could forget I said that.
Sure. Thanks for eliminating half of my suspects. So, the murderer was male. Well, that put Carlotta and Sapphire in the clear. Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst?
I haven't met them. Yet.
Huh?
I think the murderer I'm looking for is some kind of beast.
No doubt you will find out soon enough.
Do you know anything about golden swords?
I've seen a couple in my time.
Such as?
Oh, I don't know. If you've seen one golden sword, you've seen them all.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I haven't met them. Yet.
What do you know about a dwarf named Alkali?
I haven't met them.
Ta-ta.
Yet.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
I haven't met them. Yet.
Bueno, creo que nada, pero a ver, para.
Neither the Count nor Death seemed likely people to discuss that particular matter with.
A ver, pero debe haber algo más que...
Well, goodbye. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Oh, you can be certain of it. Incidentally, I rather like your hard monologues.
You do?
Oh, yes. And of course, the way you can actually think out of the corner of your mouth. Very impressive.
I didn't know I was doing it.
Oh, yes. Take that, you dirty rat. Wonderful stuff. Very entertaining. You know, sometimes I've wondered if I should take the scythe around, violin case. It would certainly add to the atmosphere of menace and uncertainty.
Really?
Of course, I don't play the violin. And I can't talk out of the corners of my mouth. It's a great shame.
Who would Sarah like to see this time? I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home? I will go and check.
Sí, pero no volví a la última vez. Bueno, yo me voy. Me voy a las habitaciones de Horst.
I went over to Horst's quarters, but he wasn't there.
Ta. Al papagayo Octarina, a ver. Hola, Manquín.
My usual, please. Luton, you're... What? Is my tie not done up straight? Is there an unfortunate mark on my nose? I heard you were dead. Perhaps I am. Get me a stiff drink. How about a whiskey? Don't you want something with it? All right, put another whiskey in there. Drinking like that will kill you. I'm dead already. You didn't come back here to drink, did you?
A ver.
How's business been? Poor. Sapphire's missed several days. I don't think she's coming back. You could be right. So this is the small talk to win me over before you start grilling me again, is it? You may be onto something there. I hope you know you're not making any friends here.
Bueno, no creo que con este no puedo hablar de mucho con este. Para. A ver. Ya no tengo la foto de... A ver.
I had a feeling that the envelope wasn't something I should discuss with everyone I met.
Ta. Y de la moneda tampoco, ¿no?
What did you find out about Mundy's coin? It's bad enough that you've stolen it from me without me sharing it with you. You didn't learn anything, did you? That's not strictly true. You learned it wasn't worth anything. If it had been, do you think I'd have given it to you?
Grosso Manquín.
See you around? Yeah, whatever.
A ver, me voy a fijar en el... Ah, no hay nada, es que no. Nos vamos. Vamos de acá. Tampoco nadie. Entonces nos vamos. Ahora nos tenemos que ir a... De ahí salimos. Prendemos bien Saturnalia. ¿No habrá alguien ahí?
Saturnalia was locked up tight.
Ah. No puedo ir acá ahora.
I couldn't think of a good reason to erase the chalk outline, other than the giddy thrill of vandalism.
Bueno, pero no puedo hablar con la gárgola ahora. No, parece que no. Dejado, Saturnalia... Pseudopolyshard. Ah, ¿qué dice Novi?
Around at Pseudopolis Yard, which caused a bit of a seems news of my death had spread. I asked for Nobby, and someone told me he was out. I decided to head back to my office and take stock of the situation. When I returned to my office for the first time since my murder, a man was already there. I knew he was a man because Corporal Noggs was the only person in Ankh-Morpork who has to carry a letter to confirm his species. He's the kind of man you get itchy from just talking to. There must be something here. Hello, Nobby. Luton, you're alive? Oh, I was just cleaning out your desk. Yes, everything of value. Didn't they bury you? Rumors of my death have been slightly exaggerated. Meaning I'm not dead, I just got buried. Yeah, don't tell me the details. Suit yourself. Nice crowbar you're using to jimmy open my drawers. Yeah. I sort of borrowed it from Raven's room. That's okay. I sort of borrowed it from a cart. Oh, I searched Raven's body and there were 2 tiny bite marks on it. Really? I guess it was more suspicious than you thought. Well, I ought to go. Looks like you don't need your things collecting. How goes the case? The counterweight killings? Oh, still not much progress. They wouldn't let me investigate it if they thought there would be. How many murders do you guys think there are? 3. One of the patrician's clerks, the reader of esoteric occultism up at Unseen University, and one of the city's richest merchants. There'd be 3 more if you counted Mundy, Reagan, and Malachite. I suppose so. Still not convinced? Well, Vimes isn't convinced. Even though I've been cleared, I have to get back to the yard. Nobby didn't seem very comfortable around. I didn't know if it was because of my return from the grave or because I caught him trying to steal everything of value that wasn't tied down. Although with Nobby, even if you tied it down, he'd steal the string. The only thing I was sure of was that my next step was to look into the counterweight killings. I had a feeling I wasn't going to like what I found.
Bueno, entonces vamos a seguir investigando un poco para ver cómo se sorprende la gente de vernos vivos, de vernos en vivo. A ver, templo de los dioses menores, a ver qué pasa. Vamos a ver a Malaclipse.
I need your help again, Malaclipse.
They'll all need my help sooner or later. They just don't know it yet.
Bueno, a ver.
Which deity do you serve?
That's a big question. Which deity do you serve?
I don't serve any deity.
Then I don't serve any deity either.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Right. You first.
I serve...
You didn't finish.
I am forbidden by an oath of loyalty never to speak aloud the name of the person.
The ancient mystic order of... Yes, I know all about you.
Bueno, no sabe nada
I know
entonces.
every conspiracy turnwise of the Wormberg, and all but one conspiracy upwards of the Great Neff.
Your turn.
I am the proud servitor of Errata, the goddess of misunderstandings, the mistress of mayhem, the countess of confusion, and the duchess of discord.
You know, sometimes I think I'm her servitor, too.
You get a free gold-plated apple if you join this week.
Tell me about the goddess Errata.
There is no goddess greater than Errata. Have you not looked at the world and seen all the confusion and misunderstanding? Well, who do you think put it there? It didn't happen by chance. Nothing ever happens by chance.
So, every misunderstanding that has ever happened, Errata was behind them all.
Yes. She has started wars, and she has ended wars. Millions have died for the glory of Errata.
And presumably most of them believe they were dying for something else.
Oh, yes. The goddess is shrewd in her ways.
She must be very powerful.
There is no goddess more powerful than Errata.
Then why doesn't she just make everyone into her follower?
Let me tell you something, Luton. Everyone is a follower of Errata. They just don't know it.
How come you know that you're a follower of Errata?
I only think I'm a follower of Errata. I might be a follower of someone else, and I wouldn't even know it.
Errata thinks of everything, doesn't she? You said you knew all but one conspiracy upwards of the Great Neff. What's the one conspiracy you don't know?
If I knew that, I would know all the conspiracies, wouldn't I?
You don't know anything about that one conspiracy?
Nothing.
Then how do you know that there is another conspiracy?
Because when I put all the other conspiracies together, I can see the pieces missing.
In other words, you can tell there's a conspiracy because you can't see it.
Everything casts a shadow, Newton, at least of some kind.
What if the missing pieces are a ruse by one of the conspiracies you do know about to try and distract you from paying attention to what they're doing?
No, that's too far-fetched.
So, is there a formal Church of Errata?
I am the formal Church of Errata. I hold her sacred emblem,
And what would that be?
the scarlet totem that I wear around my neck.
And how do you go about joining the church?
I told you, everyone is part of the Church of Errata. They just don't know it.
Bueno,
I'll have to go. The truth is out there.
Trust no one.
bueno. Entonces vamos a... Memencio ahora.
I have some more questions. Ask them, if you must.
Bueno, a ver...
I asked Mooncalf where he was when the murder took place, and he told me he was holding a sermon. Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst? No.
No.
I've heard that a bestial creature stalks the streets of Ankh-Morpork.
Indeed. Oh, perhaps the apocalypse is already upon us.
The Apocalypse?
The end of the world. The triumph of the ice giants. The tea time of the gods. The time when the creatures from the dungeon dimensions will break into the world again. Well, allegedly. The legends are as unreliable on this as they are on those things, hence the name. It's not too late to repent and join the ranks of the faithful.
I'll pass if it's all the same with you. I asked Mooncalf where he was when the murder took place, and he told me he was holding a sermon.
Dada.
I asked Mooncalf where he was when the murder took place, and he told me he was holding a sermon.
Bueno, entonces poco y nada vamos a sacar de este, ¿eh? Así que a irnos de acá. Bueno, a ver, el café Ankh, pero para no hay otro lugar. Ah, no, acá se había ido. Voy a ir al Palacio de Patricio.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Well, we are a little busy at the moment.
De
Can it
acuerdo,
wait?
de acuerdo.
Just a day or so.
No, then it can't wait.
Very well. What did you want to know?
What is that thing you're working on?
It's my flapping wing flying device. I had put it to one side, but I had an inspiration and decided to go back to developing it.
What was the inspiration?
It occurred to me that if I modified my turning the wheels with pedals and another wheel machine to turn the spinning blades radiating from central hub, I might be able to produce a flapping wing flying device that could be driven forward by a human operating the pedals with his feet.
Will it work? If we can't be solving the minor problems, it might just maybe will be yes.
Bueno,
What are the problems you're experiencing?
Mainly weight. If it is going to fly, it has to be light. But two conkers had suggested using bombastic wood for the frame, which is extremely light for its strength. I have to raid one of my floating designs to get enough of the stuff, but it should work.
If weight is a problem, why does it seek two people?
The patrician said he would be most interested in the device if it could be used to fly two people.
You don't know why?
Well, he said he was interested in how far you could travel in it.
Come to think of it, I suppose Veterinary might be interested in getting a long way from the city in a hurry one day. Could you fly a long distance in it?
Now imagine you'd get very tired. Still, if it were moving over a flat surface, you might get some additional lifting things up force reflected off the ground, which would mean it would be easier. I call this the reflecting some of the lifting things up force off the ground effect.
this is all very interesting, but it isn't helping my case much. I decided to leave them to their work. I doubted they even noticed I was gone.
Bueno, el café Anc. Ah, Samael. A ver qué dice de
Samael,
que...
Mr. Luton. Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets? Sorry, Mr. Luton, I don't know anything
No
about
sabe
that.
nada.
I heard that a merchant was murdered. You wouldn't know anything about it, would you, Samael? A merchant? I think you better ask at a less reputable establishment. I could get into trouble suggesting that something was up in the Merchants Guild. Why? The cafe is part of the Merchants Charter. The Merchants Charter? It just means that if we're found to have caused any bad publicity for the city or the guild, they send someone round to smash the windows. Doesn't that cause bad publicity? I'd rather not pursue that interesting point. Do you know anything about the murder up at Unseen University? No. Sorry. Don't you get wizards in here? You're just around the corner from the university. No, we don't get wizards here. The wizards prefer the mended drum and other noisy establishments. What about the other staff? Well, some of the other staff do call in every now and then. I guess the closest to a regular would be Cassandra, but she's not working there at the moment. At the moment? She quits her job occasionally, but she always goes back. The university pays her a good wage for what she does. Which is? Mainly laundry and a bit of dusting. If the pay's good, why does she keep quitting? She doesn't get on with her head chambermaid up at the new hall. Why? Mrs. Foames has a bad reputation as someone to work with. Have you heard about the murder of one of the patrician's clerks? Sure thing. I was interviewed by the Watch about it. You? Why? He was the clerk in charge of the palace stores. He was the one who bought the wine for the palace. Really? So do you know anything about the murder? No. Sorry. But there should be someone here from the palace any moment now to collect the next shipment. You could ask them. I guess I could. But I doubt they'd tell me anything.
Bueno, entonces nos vamos.
Thanks again, Samael. No problem, Mr. Luton.
Bueno, por ahora hay que buscar a Ilsa. Ah, Ilsa no está acá. Canales de vino.
I rooted carefully through the receipts, and the only recent purchaser was the patrician. It seems he'd bought a number of barrels of fine wine to take to the palace. I guess the golem I'd seen at the cafe was owned by Lord Veterinary.
Muy bien.
The palace was due to buy some more wine. As far as I could tell, they would be collecting it sometime soon.
¿Y una palanqueta?
Okay, I suppose I could crack open a barrel, empty out the wine, hide inside, and wait for someone to carry me into the palace. But I'd need to be a lot more confident that I wasn't going to get caught.
Entonces... Ah, los olores. Cierto que te... Bueno, gente, por el momento vamos a dejar este juego acá y la próxima ya veremos cómo me escondo ahí para estar seguro de que me van a llevar al palacio, de que al YouTube me van a llevar al palacio. Bueno, mis queridos fortuneros y fortunatas, nos estamos viendo el próximo video. Adiós.